Are you ready to start your SEO agency but feel overwhelmed by where to even begin? You're unsure of the services to offer, struggling to get clients, and even questioning whether SEO is for you? Then what you're missing is a foolproof blueprint teaching you how to build a real business, one that will stand the test of time, allowing you to make a lot of money and work on your own terms. That's why over the upcoming videos, I'm going to walk you through step by step how you can start, manage, and scale an SEO agency even as a beginner with zero experience. We're going to start in this video by introducing my LASAS Framework, the system I've developed through building my six-figure SEO agency from scratch in under a year as a beginner. My goal for this video is to make sure that you know exactly what to do to start your SEO agency. So let's get into it. So let's talk about why SEO in the first place. So the SEO industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry with a compounding growth rate of 17.6% annually. So what that means is that you are going to be entering into an industry where opportunities grow, not shrink, and there is enough of the pie, a slice of the pie for everybody. Now, the competition isn't fierce when it comes to good SEO services, and I can't stress this enough. You're not really competing with like the Fiverr people selling links for $5 and AI articles for $20. You're competing with people who provide actually good and effective SEO services. And I can genuinely say over the past 3 years that I only know really a handful of agencies and people who actually do SEO well. Now, another thing is that all businesses that have money need it. They need SEO. SEO is just one of the most cost-effective acquisition channels. There's no question about that. But it does take some time to build from scratch all the assets that come with SEO. So it's not necessarily a channel that businesses who don't have money invest in. So if you're smart about who you reach out to and the clients that you're trying to get, the people needing SEO services are almost always going to have the budget for it. It's just a matter of whether they'll work with you. And last but not least, it's a sustainable business model. So just take this study from Ahrefs in 2023 where they asked how much people who do SEO charge for, and we have about over 20% of people who charge from $500 to $1,000 a month, but you have people charging up to $50,000 for SEO services, and you actually have quite a significant amount of people charging anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 per month. Now, in that same survey, you actually had agencies charging about $3,200 for the average cost of SEO services. So the thing about SEO is you're not really trying to get paid for one-off things. You are charging a monthly retainer, meaning that there is predictable income whenever you land a client, provided that you are actually doing good work. And there is always going to be ongoing SEO work to do, maintenance of SEO, and that's something that businesses won't take a chance on. And I can guarantee you that if you deliver great SEO work, you won't be charging anything less than $2,000 a month. So imagine if at minimum you were able to get 3 clients starting out. You charge $2,000 a month with services. That's $6,000 a month with roughly about 15 hours of work a week if you're efficient and you know what you're doing, unless if you actually hire people. And that's on easy mode. So I want to just take a moment here and allow you to think about what would this look like if you were doing this. So now, as promised, I'm going to introduce the LASAS framework, and it's really simple. It is to learn, apply, specialize, acquire, and systemize and scale. So let's get into that. So the first step, to learn. Now, providing SEO services as a beginner works because it's a really high leverage skill. You can learn it in a month, get results in 2, and then start making money in 3. Why am I so confident? It's because that's exactly what I did back in 2021. Now, you might be wondering, why would anybody hire me if I'm a beginner and I don't have any experience? And I'll tell you why. People don't hire you for your experience. They hire you for your results. If you get them results. So get results and you get clients. You can't cheat this, and it's really that simple. You need to have a solid understanding of how to provide SEO services before you even start reaching out to your first client. This is a non-negotiable, and it doesn't even just apply to SEO, it applies to any agency that you start and any services that you provide. So these next 2 steps are going to get you to a level where you are proficient with SEO. Now, of course, this doesn't apply if you've already done SEO before, so you can kind of skip the first 2 steps. But with that being said, let's talk more about how you can learn SEO. So the first thing to know is that there are many branches to SEO. There's link building, SEO content writing, technical SEO, a whole bunch of things. And the interesting thing is the agencies who make the most are either those who provide all branches of SEO services, such as WebFX, who charge at minimum $3,000 starting out for retainer packages, or those who specialize in one branch like Usurp and Link Builder, who are charging anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 a month, providing links and a few kind of other services here and there. So when you start learning about SEO services, keep in mind what you enjoy, what you can deliver, and what you foresee yourself doing in the long term. You will start with one branch and then expand. But in my experience, there is an element of skill stacking when it comes to learning SEO. And I've broken down an exhaustive list of that includes things like difficulty, skills you need to learn, and resources, along with the complete action guide for starting an SEO agency. And you can get access to this guide for free down in the description link below. So in this step, you're just learning the theory. Now, some great resources include YouTube videos, and this is a great free resource, but the segmented nature can make it a bit hard to identify gaps in your knowledge, and there's also no real support when it comes to any questions that you might be stuck on. Recommendations is the Ahrefs channel. I think that's a fantastic channel to learn the basics and even some advanced stuff there. The next thing is blogs. So like YouTube, they are really great free resources, but it can be hard to figure out what you don't know, and there is no support. So some recommendations is the Ahrefs blog, SEMrush, HubSpot is also a really good one, or my own blog if you can find that. And then courses. So obviously this costs money. It's not a free resource, but it does give you the A to Z guide on everything. And this is how I personally learned starting out, and there's a lot of community support. So anytime you're stuck, there's always somebody there who can help you get unstuck, so to speak. And so recommendations, I am biased here. Blog Growth Engine is a course that I took when I first started out. I'm also now a coach there. So that's a great resource and course for you if you're willing to take that. And Detailed SEO Blueprint by Glenn Alsop is also really great, but there is a waiting list. So I think it's closed right now, but a really, really great course if you want to learn more about the technical ins and outs of SEO. So now over to you. Download the SEO Agency Starter Guide in the description and go through all the different SEO services. Then you're going to pick one or two services that appeal to you and start learning with the resources and tools recommended. And so now the next step here is to apply. There are 3 ways to implement your learnings. First, start a website and build it from scratch. Now, this is the fastest way to develop your SEO skills and knowledge. You will 10x your knowledge, and you get to test and experiment in a safe place, which is your own site. Build your portfolio in public and do it in your own time. This is how I started, and I really truly credited a lot of my learnings to this, where I was given a place or playground, so to speak, to just explore and experiment. Now, the cons of this is you'll have no one to turn to when you get stuck. So you'll have to learn at your own pace. It's easy to get discouraged and stop because there are really no consequences or pressure if you don't continue with it. So that's the first way. The second way is to go on a freelancing platform like Upwork, get a few clients and learn on a job. So pros here is that you're going to get real hands-on experience quickly and build up your portfolio of clients. You'll get paid to learn, and there's motivation to deliver. Now, the cons of this is that it is a very competitive space, and if you're an absolute beginner, expect to get paid very low rates for your first few jobs. There's going to be no real support unless you're taking a course of a community, and you'll need to be super resourceful with learning on the job, which again can be a pro and a con. And the next thing is to join an SEO agency and do the work. So you'll learn and follow an established system from an agency, which is the best part about this. It takes the guesswork out of things, and you can learn what and how the agency is doing things. You'll get the most robust learning and get paid to learn, essentially. Now, you may be looking a few months to a year here to get a good grasp on things. You're working for their clients. Any results you're getting is for their clients and for their company. And you follow strict protocols when it comes to SEO. There's less room to really experiment depending on the company. And you'll need to obviously just quit and stop whatever you're doing to make that career shift. And when it comes to applying, your sole metric here is to get results. If you're writing an article, it should rank. If you're doing link building, you should be able to get these links live. Output is important, but outcomes are what people will pay you big money for. So do as much work as is needed to get those results. So now over to you. Once you start learning a particular branch of SEO, think about how you can apply it. So if you're already learning to write SEO content, why not apply for an SEO content job posting on Upwork and get paid to do it? If you want to explore how to rank on Google, learn and start a blog. An A to Z guide or course is recommended for this due to all the steps involved. Do a few practice technical site audits for ideal companies you want for clients and send them the audit. That could result in an opportunity. Looking for a career change? Well, get an entry-level role in an SEO agency and work there for a few months. Get paid to learn. Then create an action plan on how you plan to apply this. Put it in the calendar and take action. You won't get far without doing so. So the third part of this framework is to specialize. If you want to serve everyone and do everything at the start, you're going to have a really hard time, especially as a beginner or a one-man band. So the key here is to specialize. At this point, you should have explored a few skills, gotten some traction, results, or successfully completed some client tasks. You should have a sense of what you're liking and not liking and what you're good at or not good at. This will start giving you some clarity on how you can niche down and specialize. And it is okay if you don't. You can still pick one that aligns with your interests. This does not need to be perfect, so don't let perfectionism get in the way. So there are 3 ways you can specialize and niche down. So the first one is by industry level, second one is by service or branch level, and the third one is by location level. So I've gone in ahead to create an SEO niche scoring calculator, and what you're going to do is you're going to think about one service that you want to provide and one industry you want to provide it to. Then you're going to rate the questions on a scale of 0 to 10, and with these in mind, you're going to get an indicator out of 10 on niche suitability. So as you can see, you can slide it around and get a score out of 10 there. And again, you can get free access to this asset and the complete action guide down in a link in the description below. So now it's over to you. Think about some service X industry fields you want to explore and grade them using the SEO niche scoring calculator. The higher the score, the higher the indication of niche suitability. So as an example, you might want to provide link building services to the accounting software industry or SEO content writing to outdoor e-commerce brands. Now, start thinking about your offer and value statement. Frame the return on investment or the outcomes result your service will produce. So as an example, I build links to accounting software pages to help them rank on Google, get more traffic, and get more leads. Now, for my favorite part and the part that people find the most daunting, and that is acquire. At this point, if you've had a good experience of artwork, you can just keep reaching out to clients there and build up a top rated profile. But if you don't want to go down that path, I recommend a more scalable method. And there are 3 parts to acquisition, and I call it the POS framework, which is prospect, outreach, and sell. So let's talk about prospect. This is where you're going to build out a list of sites and people to reach out to. Once you know your niche, identify who your ideal customer profile is. Usually, paying clients are a good way to know who your ICP is, but if you don't have any, you want to make a few hypothetical guesses. While there are many variables to identifying an ICP, in my experience, these should be defined at minimum. So company size, company type, industry vertical, geographic coverage, and acquisition channels. There are also many ways to prospect, and I'll share 2 effective ways for you in this video. So the first is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It is a paid plan, but it's really effective in allowing you to filter things on ICP such as geographic, company size, and industry verticals, and then find companies that aren't ranking. So the second method, you'll just want to Google high-value keywords that your ideal client would want to rank for and pitch those that don't rank on the first page that pain point. So as example, if you're targeting accounting companies in Melbourne, Google accountants in Melbourne, which is a pretty high value keyword, and then look at the companies ranking the 2nd or 3rd page. So you know that they're trying to do something, but they're not ranking. Then present them an opportunity for them to rank higher. Also, let me know whether you want to see a full video of some different tips and tricks I have when it comes to prospecting. Once you have a list of sites, you want to find the right decision maker. This varies depending on your niche and the size of the company, but you are typically wanting to contact the head of content, head of marketing, founder, CEO, head of growth acceleration. Now, the next part to this is outreach. Once you have a list of sites of the decision makers and contact details, you want to reach out to them. So depending on your niche, you'll either reach out via email or LinkedIn or other social medias, but email is generally recommended. So here are some email outreach tips. So the first is always address people by their first name. You're going to personalize and if possible, send from a custom domain email. So that is your name at website.com, because it does make you come across a lot more professional. And always have a profile picture. You are reaching out to a human, and it's always nice to put a face to the name. Don't send out 50 or 100 emails in one day, especially if you've never sent anything. You don't want to be marked as spam, and always have a follow-up sequence. I rarely ever get anybody replying to my first email. They're always replying back to my second or third follow-up. So that's really important there. Now, the point of email outreach is not to pitch your services. The point is to open up a conversation, which does lead me to the next part of this framework, and that is to sell. Specifically, state problem solution selling. Now, I don't like hard sells, and many people don't either. Going in cold with a pitch makes zero sense. You have no credibility, no relationship, and no leverage. Why would anybody reply back, never mind pay you money? So I like to adopt a state problem solution selling method to selling. And the gist of this is that you want to state where the lead is at in relation to the service you want to provide. You want to highlight the problem of the state they're in and get them to acknowledge it, then provide the solution, which is you and your services, over the phone or email. So as an example, you're providing SEO content writing to accounting firms. You identify a client that fits your ICP. State, you can see that they have an active blog, but a quick search with Ahrefs or SEMrush shows that they aren't ranking or getting any traffic to their blogs. Problem, they are wasting time and money on producing great content that isn't getting them any business results. The articles aren't optimized, they don't rank, they don't bring in any traffic, and they aren't getting leads. And the solution here is by doing keyword research, identifying core keywords, optimizing the articles, and writing content optimized for SEO. They'll have a higher chance to rank, get more high quality leads, and that means sales. So imagine getting an email from a stranger who actually did their research, highlighted the state that you're in, the problems that you're having, and then said that they can solve it. That is the way to sell. So now over to you. So you're going to prospect. You're going to identify your ideal customer profile. There can be more than one. You're going to build a list of 50 sites starting out that match your ICP. You can do it via LinkedIn Sales Navigator or through Googling. Find the right decision maker for each company and their email contact details. Hunter.io and Lucia are great tools for this. Outreach. Set out a custom domain email. Read my email outreach tips again and do further research on this, and have a follow-up sequence prepared. I recommend Gmail for automated follow-ups and email tracking. And to sell, draft email templates around the state problem solution selling framework. Do your research and focus your initial email templates around state and problem. When getting on sales calls or when people respond, focus on helping them with a solution. And most importantly, send out emails until you get a client. You lose if you stop. If you don't typically send emails, you'll need to warm up your email. Start with 5 emails a day and slowly increase that frequency. You don't want them to go to spam. And the last step here is to systemize and scale. Now, it's especially important as you start your agency that you start taking notes and recordings on how you're doing the work. You need to break down everything as granular as possible with all parts of the process. This is not going to be perfect, and you may only start to do it when you feel the need to hire. Now, while I don't expect most people watching this video to need to action this right away, it is important to start organizing your work. So the number one tool I recommend for this is Notion. All you need to do is start documenting what you're doing and how you're doing it. But along the track, this is a very powerful tool that can help you project manage your client work, manage content, keep track of all your notes, onboarding clients, and so much more. Because there will come a time when you may want to hire and offboard your day-to-day, and the only efficient way to make hires is when you have the exact process for them to follow. And to scale, it really comes down to 3 core components. How many leads and clients can you bring in? How robust is your delivery and fulfillment? Are you getting your clients' results? And how good are your systems and processes so that you can outsource the work to somebody else? And that's it for this video. And again, my goal is to make sure that you leave this video with the exact steps to start your SEO agency. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck.